In today's episode, Sox closer Jonathan Papelbon is off to Philly. Miami may have their eyes on the second city's dream team. And also, Pats-Jets clash for the second time this year. All that and more coming up. You're watching The Pitch. Hey guys, welcome to The Pitch. My name is Mitch Sabatelli, and as always, this is Mike Pesperoni.
What's up?
Alright, so we're back, and we're finally back this time. The last show we put up there, just the audio got up, not the video. We used a new camera. We used a new camera, and that didn't work. Our old camera's back, but here we go. John's not here. He's in Philly, but I'm going to host the show for this week. And so here we go. That brings us to the top story. This just in, Jonathan Papelbon has signed with the Philadelphia Phillies for a record 4 years, $50 million.
That's crazy. That's way too much money.
That's crazy
That's
amount of
way
money.
too much money. $50 million bucks. What were we with the Yankees with CC giving them like half the deal right there automatically for the Phillies? Why are they so desperate to be giving their money away? They have all this good pitching, good staff. I mean, closing was really the big problem.
I'm gonna disagree with you a couple for right there. If you look at the last three champions, including the Cardinals, you have three legit closers right there: Jason Mott, Brian Wilson, and Mariano Rivera. Hey, listen, look, the Phillies won a couple years ago back. But their one thing is they had Brad Lidge, who was still kind of shaky. Yeah, but there's one thing that they missed this year. They had that rotation. Everybody knows they got Cliff Lee, Roy Oswalt, Doc, and Hamels. And they have the ferocious lineup. There's one thing they didn't have is that legit closer, back-end closer.
I get the signing, but the problem is why give him that much money?
I don't get that either.
He's not worth that much money. What do they think someone else is going to go grab like a mediocre? Like he's not. He's a little above average. He's not like the best. He's an elite closer.
He's
a good closer. He's a really good closer. He's not the best.
Well, I
don't even think the best. I don't know why the best closer should even get like.
The thing is, Ryan Madsen, who they were negotiating with.
I understand you want to get talent back in like the team for the closing position with Brad Lidge, who's always been shaky. Like in any position.
Brad Lidge isn't their closer anymore. The thing is, they were negotiating with their current closer, Ryan Madsen. That kind of fell through. Apparently, there's some sources saying how they were close to a deal, but Jonathan Papelbon comes back. And they struck this deal with Papelbon. The thing I don't understand is Ruben Amaro, their GM, is a big money guy. And after putting all this money into Cliff Lee, you already stacked your team, and you should be good for a solid couple of years. Why not go after a low-risk, high-reward guy, maybe like a Joe Nathan, maybe even have your eyes on Heath Bell? The one thing is, Jonathan Papelbon, the one thing they needed in that big area is a guy who can perform under pressure, perform in clutch situations, and Jonathan Papelbon's done that in the past. Yeah. So maybe Amaro's looking at that and saying, hey, listen, we want to get a guy who's pitched in the AL East, pitched against the big Yankee lineup. We're going to have him go for our team back with that. Now we can still negotiate with Ryan Madsen, maybe have him back to his setup role like he was in our championship year. And I kind of like the move by the Phillies. You know, it's a lot of money, but good. The one thing they need is a closer.
It's a solid closer. Yeah. No, I wasn't saying he wasn't a solid closer. He's a solid closer.
So, Peps, that brings me to the Red Sox. What's your opinion on what the Red Sox do from here?
I have no idea what they should do from here. There are so many spots they need to, like...
I'm talking about bullpen.
Bullpen?
Bullpen ways.
Yeah, need a lot of help with that.
See, what I would do, I would make Daniel Bard the legit closer. Bring him in. Look, he's the game's best setup guy right now. He had a tough back into the September, tough second half. I'd immediately put him in that role. Look, the guy can throw 99, 98 consistently. There was talks of having him become a starter this year. You can throw that out the window now that Jonathan Papelbon's gone. I liked Aceves last year.
I was about to say, you think he'd be a starter next year?
Aceves? I think I would. He could be a starter. I would put him as a setup guy. He was a legit top-end bullpen guy last year.
He was the best bullpen guy we had.
He was probably their MVP of September, too. Yeah. And, you know, Aceves, I'd put in Aceves as your setup guy. I'd bring in Daniel Bard. I think that's the way to go. But moving on, the Marlins have changed their name. They are now the Miami Marlins, and they also have a new stadium, and they got money to spend, and this could be Dream Team 2.0. You know, you see what the Heat did, but right now it's close to... The sources saying that Reyes could be going to the Marlins, and also with Reyes going to the Marlins, if that does happen, they're also meeting with Albert Pujols.
That would be sick.
That would be a stacked lineup right there. Throw him in there with Mike Stanton and Hanley Ramirez, who's actually, Hanley Ramirez is the one really driving this price tag to get Jose Reyes.
Really?
Because he wants to move to third base, and he wants to...
Hanley wants to go to third, so because I was going to say both of them are shortstops.
Yeah, and
really
not even only that, Hanley Ramirez is coming off an off year. They're both not only they're both shortstops, they're both two of the game's best shortstops. Move Hanley to a little less demanding position in third base.
Reyes with a
Throw
speed.
Reyes in there. The one thing you're going to look out there for is injury-prone problems, but Albert Pujols...
You got to take a risk sometimes, especially for the Florida Marlins. Not much success in like previous years with anything they've really done. So maybe moving to Miami could be a new start.
I love that. I love that.
It's a good move because it'll shake up the whole franchise in general.
And also, they just made that trade. They got a perfect manager for the situation. A guy who I think, as a Red Sox fan, they should have made this move. They go out and get Ozzie Guillen, a perfect disciplined guy. If anybody, Hanley Ramirez had an offseason who he was gaining weight, similar to the Red Sox problems. There was a lot of clubhouse issues there. Ozzie Guillen is going to take that crap. He's going to come in there, restore some order there. Yeah. Albert Pujols, one of the most respected game players on and off the field. Bring Albert Pujols in there. You know, a lot of talk of him going to the Cubs. I like this move for the Marlins. You know, the Heat. There's a lot of attention now on the Heat. Also, and you know, it's a big sports market. It's becoming a big sports market. The one thing they need now is baseball.
It's kind of depressing to see this crap because, like, we're obviously Red Sox fans at heart, and to see, I mean, we're just losing everybody. We're not even like really making any moves yet.
Well, the main thing is,
the thing is, you see a team like the Marlins who are in the crappers. They're like, why aren't we stepping up like the Marlins are?
I really wish we could have had that show 2 weeks ago, and like I said, every show is going to be 2 weeks. I would have really liked covering that Sherrington Epstein things, but, you know, it's kind of untimely right now. I think the main thing is they don't even have a manager right now. They need to go out there, they need to get a manager.
Get a manager and then start from the top down.
Rumor has it that they're looking at Sandy Alomar Jr. I would love that pick. I would like a guy who has some major league experience on and off the field. Sandy Alomar is that guy. And also, I mean, a guy like Sandy Alomar, Tony Pena, a Dominican guy or somebody from a foreign land who can speak the Spanish language, I think that would be solid too, because, you know, you got all these players coming in.
Yeah.
A guy, you know, they could use that, get some extra help there. And Francona, you know, as much as you got to love him with the 2 championships, that last year, I mean, his time has come.
Terrible.
I love if they can get Tony Pena, I think
the person's time who has come was Epstein's. Epstein was just, I don't know, I felt like we just wait and get rid of him for a little while.
All right, well, that's a topic for another day. I couldn't disagree with you more. I would have liked to keep Epstein there. I would have liked to get a new manager. But, so you like the Marlins moves if they could get Pujols and Reyes?
If they could, that would be awesome.
You wouldn't like them...
I would respect them a lot if they could make moves like that, because it would be what the Red Sox are doing.
And not only that, it's not like if the Cubs right now, they have a terrible lineup. They were rumored to get Pujols. If the Marlins got Pujols right now, you're looking at a lineup with Hanley Ramirez, arguably the game's best player as of the start of last year. Yeah, you had a down year. You throw him in with Hanley Ramirez, Jose Reyes, Albert Pujols, Mike Stanton, who may be the best power hitter in the game today, along with Logan Morrison. I like that lineup a lot, and also they're looking at a guy by the name of Mark Burley, who I think would be perfect as a top-end guy there.
A while ago, yeah.
All right, so moving on, a little NFL talk. We got the Patriots, who were on a 2-game losing streak, going to the Jets this Sunday. Thoughts on the matchup right now?
I mean, Patriots, this is a must-win. They're on the road, right?
They are on the road, right?
Even tougher now. They're going to, what is it, MetLife?
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, it's going to be tough for them.
JetLife.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for them to win there, but they have to win this game. This is a must-win. I'm going to go out on a limb. I was saying this before. I believe if the Patriots can't win this game, then they won't make the playoffs, because they're showing a lot of lackluster defense, and the offense is starting to fade. If we see any more signs of a faded Tom Brady and offensive arsenal, we can't get the run game going and playing good defense and like the pass defense and stuff, and even the run, just the defense in general has just been bad. I mean, if we can't do that, I don't see a future. Hell to even think about the Super Bowl. Let's get into the playoffs first.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more there, Peps. Yeah, I mean, this team's already 5-3. They've lost 2 in a row. The Brady-Belichick era, I mean, I haven't never seen them lose 3 games in a row. And this is a huge, huge must-win for the Patriots.
They never lose 3 games.
I think this is a bigger win for the Patriots than the Jets.
It is.
Even saying how the Patriots already beat the Jets earlier in this year, I think the Patriots need this game.
We got to crush them.
They need this win. And listen, you know, Mark Sanchez, he craps under pressure. A guy who does not crap under pressure, I don't care what defense you have, is Tom Brady. Tom Brady is going to win this game. The one thing the Jets have is they have shutdown corners. I mean, they can take your best receiver on the right side, best receiver on the left side. And with Revis and Cromartie, they absolutely shut them out. Revis is the best defensive player in this game. The one thing the Patriots have right now is they have Welker, and Welker can torch Revis because of his agility. Yeah. And he shredded him for 100. I think it was 120 yards earlier in this year. I think Revis can't keep up with Welker. I like that matchup.
I think it's a big game for Brady and Welker because they'll like kind of solidify them once again. Because they faded out. Welker, especially against the Steelers, he wasn't really doing anything. He was getting shut down.
Oh, absolutely.
They were all getting shut down. That new pass defense from that Steelers, crippling.
Dick LeBeau is the best defensive coordinator in the game today, and I'll just say that right now. They finally found a way to stop the Patriots there, but I really like that. Rex Ryan's a great defensive coach, but he cannot stop Wes Welker. Brady and Welker are going to torch that Jets secondary, and I'm gonna say the Patriots win this game based on. You know, it's going to be a high-scoring game. The Patriots have a terrible defense, maybe the worst defense I've seen since the Brady-Belichick era.
Switch it up. That's the thing, though.
They just cut Hainsworth. Hainsworth goes to the Bucs, but you know,
he doesn't really do much of anything, though.
The one thing I don't understand is I would have never guessed that Belichick would have cut Hainsworth over Ocho Cinco. How is Ocho Cinco still on his team?
Belichick's not afraid to make moves, though.
No, I know, but I didn't think Hainsworth was playing as poorly as Ocho Cinco has.
Well, I don't know. Hainsworth is like injury problem prone, so he's not been doing anything this season. He's done less than Ocho Cinco.
Okay, I couldn't disagree with that anymore. Ocho Cinco was getting targeted that last game. I think it was 6 targets for a total of 0 catches.
So you're gonna blame him for all that?
Absolutely not. I'm just basically saying I don't know why Belichick has cut.
Okay, we'll say they're equally poor. I would say more young talent to him than Hainsworth, who's
Ocho Cinco's 33.
Injuries.
Ocho Cinco's 33, and Albert Hainsworth is younger than Ocho Cinco.
Injuries too.
Okay, I think Hainsworth was a little banged up there. I think he's very overweight.
He got to practice and sit there.
And he was crying. He was crying. He was saying how he wasn't having enough snaps in the defense. I like the move of cutting Hainsworth. But I just don't understand what Ocho Cinco's done. I think both those players were obviously busts, and you got to say that. But as far as the matchup goes, going back to the matchup,
but the offense is stronger with us than the defense. So you think maybe Belichick could work with someone more like Ocho Cinco than maybe Hainsworth on the defensive side?
I think Belichick's more of a defensive coach. I think Belichick has more respect for Ocho Cinco.
There hasn't been showing this season defensive coach. I haven't seen anything really.
That's not what I'm saying, Peps. Belichick has noticed. The defense has poor players on that defense. That the skill-wise for those defensive players is terrible right now. I don't think that falls on Belichick. And I think one of the things that Belichick does is he's cutting all these veterans so that if the defense does show up, then a lot of the blame says, "Oh, Belichick's a great defensive coach, and look what he's doing with all these bad players." And now if the defense does falter, people can say, "Oh, they can turn to the players." So I think that the reason why Belichick did cut Hainsworth is so that he can develop those younger players.
Maybe he could send a message to say it doesn't matter who you are on this defensive side, you will get cut if you play poorly.
Okay, so going back to the matchup, what is your take on the score of the game?
I think the Patriots will win.
All right, what's the score?
Yeah, that's kind of tough.
35-28 Patriots.
I'll go with 28-24 Patriots.
All right. That's all we have for this first part of the pitch. Tune in to the second part where we talk about a couple more matchups football-wise and a little NHL to bring in.